And the Indian diaspora everywhere is seen as a peace force, silent peace force which works for the development of any country wherever it goes. So that's how we also see India to be young India, which is making rich contributions to various countries where we find diaspora. Friends, I welcome you all on behalf of the Indian High Commission and the Indian High Commissioner to the Diaspora Conference first session. Diaspora has 5 distinctive characteristics. One is history, which is shared. Second one is identity, which is dynamic. Third one is culture, which is vibrant. And then the people who are diverse. We have a distinguished panel to address these specific aspects of diaspora with reference to India and Jamaica this afternoon. Let me take this honor of inviting our distinguished panelists while welcoming them onto the dais. I invite Dr. Akshay Mansingh, the Dean of Sports Medicine, University of West Indies, onto the dais. I also invite Honorable Olivia Grange, Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, onto the dais. Please, ma'am. And I also invite Honorable Marilyn Malabu Ford, Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, along with Honorable Errol P. Johnson, the President of Sanatana Dharma Mandir, onto the dais, please. Let me take the pleasure of introducing each one of them briefly, though they are well known to the Indian community and Jamaican community. Madam Olivia Babsy Grange needs no introduction. She held distinguishing positions, few distinguishing positions like Minister of State in the Office of Prime Minister, Government Senator and Parliamentary Secretary for Information and Culture, and she was awarded Order of Distinction in the rank of Commander for her contributions to Jamaican music industry, cultural development and public service. She was appointed as the CARICOM First Champion of Culture. She was a cultural activist, artist, director, promoter of Jamaica's creative and cultural industries. I welcome you, ma'am. I take this opportunity of welcoming and inviting Madam Marilyn Malabu Ford, a student of Harvard University, King's College London and University of West Indies, Yale World Fellow of Yale University, and she is also recognized as a young global leader by World Economic Forum, and she is presently the Honorable Attorney General of Jamaica. I welcome you, ma'am. I welcome Dr. Akshay Mansingh, Dean of Faculty of Sport and University of West Indies, a student of University of West Indies, Mona, and University of New South Wales, Australia. Outside his academic pursuits, he was Chief Medical Officer of West Indies Cricket Board and Caribbean Premier League combinedly, and he is presently the board member of Cricket West Indies. I welcome you, Dr. Akshay.
Would you like that?
I also welcome Brigadier Errol Johnson, Customs of St. Mary. He is the Commandant of Jamaica Combined Cadet Force, retired educator who served as Principal of St. Mary High Forest Club High Schools. He is a practicing Hindu and President of Sanatana Dharma Mandir. He went on a scholarship to India, studied at the University of Rajasthan. I welcome you, sir. As I already mentioned, the theme of this particular panel discussion is surrounded around history, identity, culture, and people. Every individual, every nation, and every culture has a history, right? We can't think of ourselves without history. But history can never be exclusive, though sometimes we tend to think that history is exclusive, my own history. History is always a shared one. Individuals share their history with family, society, nation, and world, and nations also share their history with other nations. In this, especially more so in this globalized world. And I invite Dr. Mansingh to throw some light on the shared history of more than 170 years, starting from 1845 that we see now, the history of Indians in Jamaica. Since he witnessed the authorship of the book, Home Away from Home, 150 years of India's presence in Jamaica, written by his parents, Ajay and Lakshmi Mansingh, we don't find, I believe, a better person than him to delve into this particular aspect. Dr. Ajay Mansingh, floor is yours. Before I leave the mic to Dr. Ajay, friends, I would like to make note of this particular point that at the end of the speeches, we will have a 15-minute question and answer session. So if you find any point that is to be discussed further, I request you to make note of the questions. We will provide the mic to you so that you can ask your questions in a pointed way. And then initially we will have 5 minutes of each of the presentations with the panelists. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Mansingh.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Probably before I start my 5 minutes that I'm allowed to speak, I make one correction because it's not often that I get to correct Minister Hill in public. Minister Hill gave a list of Indians and Sri Lankans, and one Sri Lankan that made him a success. But he gave the wrong name. The Sri Lankan that made him a success is named Kumara Subramaniam. Now this is Kumara Hill. On May 8, 1845, the SS Blundell pulled up at Port Morant outside of St. Thomas, and the next day it was given his orders and permission to sail into Old Harbour Bay. By May 10th, the first set of Indians set foot. His name actually was Parmeshwar, and he set foot at Old Harbour Bay. In fact, if you read the Falmouth Post of that week, that was a predominant newspaper. It described these Indians coming in buggies, and all the newly liberated Afro-Jamaicans, called blacks in the paper, lined the streets to welcome them, and then went into their houses instinctively to bring out whatever food they had for these people who come from a far land. On that day, Indians did not share history with Jamaica. They became part of the history of Jamaica. The Indians became, if you take Europeans as one group, they became the third ethnic group to come to Jamaica. But because the numbers, 36,412, were very small in comparison to say what happened in Trinidad, Guyana, Suriname, Fiji, Mauritius, because they were a large group, it allowed a brothership to form between the Afro-Jamaicans and the Indo-Jamaicans, which led to this shared history. Now, it wasn't always a wholesome welcome. In fact, for 3 years before 1845, from 1842 onwards, there was a move to prevent the Indians from coming to Jamaica. In fact, in 1842, Reverend William Knibb, who we still honor with a high school in his name, stated, and I quote, "The immigration of a number of heathen pagan foreigners with their religious superstitions, idolatry, and wickedness will act most injuriously on the morals of the inhabitants." And what he meant by that were the black inhabitants. So I repeat, will act most injuriously on the morals of the black inhabitants of the island and hinder very much the efforts that we are now in operation for their moral and religious improvement. Having denuded the Afro-Jamaicans who came of their culture, identity, and religion, the Indians were further described, and I'm quoting Professor Keogh Lawrence, Professor Bernie Shepherd, and the former Prime Minister of Trinidad, Eric Williams, as illiterate, unskilled, destitute, heathen, pagan, idolatry, and wicked. Yeah, it's not their quotes, they're quoting their publications. Yet, these humble people who came here to till the lands, within 2 years we noted have increased the sugar production of Jamaica and had introduced a lot of other things due to their own innate culture. In fact, it was a culture that they were able to keep alive without any interaction with the mainland for at least another half a century, when the High Commission was established and other people came. That shared history extends to culinary delights. You heard about the curry goat, the roti, etc. Music, dance, and other cultural items that you're going to hear further about from Custis Johnson. Agricultural endeavors, including successful rice cultivation that had failed hitherto their coming here, vegetables, and of course sugarcane. The making of intricate jewelry with the simplest of tools, which caused a half-day session in the legislation of Jamaica at the turn of the last century to discuss the habit of the Indians who make cottage items like jewelry and peddle them during the weekend and how to deal with that. Influence on Rastafari and Pocomania that we've heard about already. And maybe indentured laborers didn't bring this, but horticultural input in terms of mango, banana, many plants and vegetables, which came before even the Indians came here. And of course, one plant which retained its Indian name, and that is ganja. Until 1990, I'd never heard of marijuana in Jamaica, it was pure ganja. I don't know when that changed, but it's because of the cultural input and the input of the plants that came from there. There have been other influences, obviously, because the Indo-Caribbean people have overrepresented in cricket. And in Jamaica too, between Samuel Francis in the 70s, Krishmar Santoki some years ago, and even some more recently, Indo-Jamaicans have featured in cricket. In fact, I'm just coming directly from the AGM of West Indies Cricket Board, and we've just voted our new president, Mr. Kishore Shallow, an Afro-West Indian with an Indian first name. What a better shared history than that. Indo-Jamaicans have been part of every facet of life. The last Miss World out of Jamaica, Tony Ann Singh, you can see right there, the current Miss Jamaica, and many other Jamaicans have rose to prominence in the shared history. But just two other groups that I'd like to acknowledge. In the 1920s, 1910s, 1920s, 1930s, a lot of businessmen from the Sindh province of undivided India came to Jamaica and introduced the inbound labor market and have maintained their dominance in that trading division, which has enriched our economies and obviously hastened our tourism product. And then since the 1970s, we've had a lot of professionals who've come to Jamaica, initially as teachers, doctors, and later on as management executives. And I had predicted about 10 years ago that the population of Indians in Jamaica will triple. And I tell you, not only that happened, but it's going to triple again in the next few years, just because the expertise that is offered from that country for the needs of our country. And the contribution increases because you saw a lovely cultural item a while ago. And one of the persons there, Mohita Chindapalli, is the current Jamaica Open Independent Scholar. In all spheres of life, we have a shared history to enhance the motto of ultimately one people. Thank you.